divine power through the rod. He allowed them to turn it into a snake. He allowed them to stretch it forth when Pharaoh and his armies were after the children of Israel to split the Red Sea and allow them to walk on dry land. In this chapter, while they're at battle, most of the time in these days, they would have a banner. Banner wasn't a piece of paper like what we see. It wasn't a flag back in these days, but it was a pole. And this pole allowed them to determine the movement of the army while they were at battle. So Moses decided he was going to use the rod as a banner to lead and guide the movement of Israel while they were fighting. This wasn't your average banner. He believed and he trusted God that he was going to see them through again as he did in the past. So Moses stood on the mountain and he raised his arms. And while he was holding up his arms began to grow tired because they were at battle all day. So the arms began to drop. And when his arms began to drop, it seemed as if the other army was defeating the children of Israel. But standing beside him, he had Aaron and Hur standing right beside him. And while they were beside him, they saw Moses was growing weak. So they decided, okay, we're going to get him a rock so he can sit down. And we're going to take his arms and we're going to help him to hold up his arms so that the children of Israel can defeat them in the battle. How many of you know it's good sometimes to have somebody on your side? It's good to have somebody on your side. God always places somebody there to help you when you're weak. I know for myself, there were times when I thought I was gonna fall, but just before I hit the floor, God picked me back up. Hallelujah. I know there were some times I thought I was gonna lose my mind, but somebody prayed for me. Hallelujah. I know there was times when I was lonely, but God sent somebody by and said, I love you. He sent them by just to give me a hug. There was times I thought I was gonna break and he sent a word. Hallelujah. And there was times I thought I would explode and somebody decided to pick up the phone and think about Keisha. He's got people assigned to you. Moses knew that God allowed them to obtain the victory over the Amalekites. So he built an altar. And when he built this altar, he named it Jehovah Nissi, the Lord my banner. For this rod, this banner, it was full of power from God. It strengthened the soldiers. It guided them and it leaded them to victory. We must learn how to stay under the Lord's banner. We've got to stay under his direction. So no matter how tired you get, no matter how low you get, no matter how discouraged you get, how beat down or broken you get, we must know as long as we're under his banner, we have got the victory. Hallelujah. And sometimes victory, it doesn't always come when we want it. They battled all day long. But Jehovah Nissi, our God, he's still on the way. We've got to know that he's on the way. Israel battled all day long, but in the end, we win. Hallelujah. We must intercede in prayer. When we intercede in prayer, we must proceed in obedience. Moses provided intercession and God provided intervention. Hallelujah. We must keep people in our corner. Someone who's willing to battle with you. So when you're weak, they can help you up. But most of all, we must know that Jehovah Nissi, God our banner, is on our side. Hallelujah. I need somebody to learn how to call them for your victory. Call them for your strength. Call them for your healing. Call them when you don't have no power. Call them when you're down. Call them when you feel like you don't have nobody else on your side. Let them be a healer. Hallelujah. I know him as my banner. I know him as a way maker. I know that he reigns in victory. So no matter what your battle is, no matter how long you've been in this battle, know that Jehovah Nissi will bring you out. When the battle gets a little rough, I've got Jehovah Nissi. When the storm just don't seem like it's ending, I've got Jehovah Nissi. When it looks like the other team is winning, I've got Jehovah Nissi. When it seems like I just can't, I've got Know him as your strength. Hallelujah. I've got Jehovah Nissi. And in closing, I'm reminded of the Olympics. When they defeat the other country, they have their flags or their banners. And they get their flag or their banner and they take their lap around the track. And they let them know, I've got the victory. I won this time. I want you to know, although it seems like the opposing team is winning, we can get our flag. We can